Hi, everyone. Welcome to Hallmark Movie Drafts, the monthly podcast where guest panelists are all Hallmark movie enthusiasts who love to debate, rank, and create definitive top 10 lists of Hallmark movies. It's June, and we are kicking off the summer by drafting the top 10 list of fan favorite Rachel Boston's Hallmark movies. I'm Lynn Austin, your host. Erin Beth is sitting this draft out. We did two shows in May, the Sisters Showdown draft, which was the top 10 list of Ashley Williams or her sister Kimberly Williams Paisley's 10 best movies. And those were ranked by three sets of sisters. It was so much fun. And then, of course, there was the Bissinger's Chocolates draft with their CEO, Dan Abel Jr., who turned out to be quite a savvy player as well as charming and fun. So Erin Beth says she's off at a conference this week, but secretly I think she's home enjoying that truckload of Bissinger's gummy pandas that she ordered. So joining me today is one of my favorite people. She will also be my co-host for the upcoming Don't Make Me Sing draft, pointing out all the Broadway stars who are featured singing in those Hallmark movies. Her name should be up in lights, in all caps, with jazz hands. It's my dear friend, who knew, Rena. Hey, Rena, how are you doing?
I'm good, Lynn. How are you?
Rena
So
in all caps and jazz hands. It's
I
got to
know it's
happen.
very lies alike, but
Marina, for our listeners who aren't familiar with you because you are so famous, tell everybody like what your connection is with the Broadway world.
so I've been working in performing arts since I was 17. And the short story is that in my late 20s, I became a company manager and for ballet and Broadway. In the Broadway world, that means I'm one of the people who runs the show on the off stage, right? Anything that happens on stage is a stage manager. Everything that happens off stage is company manager. I did that for the better part of 30 some odd years, aging myself, but that's fine. Just before the shutdown of Broadway, I was elected to basically run my union. We are all union members on Broadway. So that's what I've been doing, which is again like being a company manager and dealing with the people and the problems and all those things, which has been an interesting challenge. And I'm just going to add that heading into this week, which is our Super Bowl of Broadway, the Tony Awards, it's a very hectic week. Seeing a lot of shows and I get to see every show, which is a big honor and a joy.
It is so amazing to see your posts. And listeners, if you ever get the chance to bump into Rena in New York City or wherever she travels, because she travels everywhere, in just basic conversation, Rena says things like, "Oh yeah, well, Mikhail Baryshnikov, blah 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 blah." Lunch with Rena should be its own podcast, Rena. If you ever have time to start one, just, hook up a mic and start talking. I know how
Thank
crazy your
you.
schedule is, so I'm so glad that you're doing this with me today because actually the only time that you've drafted was back in 2023, the signed, sealed, and delivered
Yeah.
draft. So it's been a while.
Watching every single signed, sealed, and delivered
Yeah.
movie.
So Rachel Boston, what do you like about Rachel Boston's filmography in Hallmark?
I am an OG Rachel Boston fan. She was fabulous in West End. So I'm all in with Rachel pre Hallmark. Rewatching a lot of the movies last weekend and it brought a new appreciation. She's so funny, but she's not saccharine funny. And she also handles the drama really well. And that impresses me so much about her. And she's funny. She's a comic. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. When I was first putting this draft together 2 years ago, right, 2023, I actually saw that she had done two rom-coms, very Hallmark-esque movies that didn't air on Hallmark. There's one called The Engagement Plot that she did with Trevor Donovan in 2022. That's an Up TV movie. And believe it or not, she did a Lifetime movie called A Christmas in Tennessee in 2018 with Andrew Walker. Like, who knew? She hasn't done one
That's a
for
great
Hallmark yet.
movie.
And she was actually Miss Teen Tennessee, 1999. Ouch, 1999. I don't want to talk about it. Okay, so you're going to do the trivia round in just a few minutes, right?
Mm.
So you can sit back and relax for a second while we introduce our panelists. So first up, fresh off a big birthday weekend, making her second appearance on HMD after having drafted the Allison Sweeney draft in November of 2024, which she co-won. She's one of our favorite writers. You can check out some of her writing on faith, friendship, her annual Hallmark Christmas movie guide, and other fun fodder, as she calls it, on her blog. It's simplefelicity.net. So welcome back and happy belated birthday. Happy.
Thank you.
How was the birthday celebration?
It was good. It was good. I had originally planned to take myself to the Bronx Zoo on what Julia Cameron would call an artist date. But I was a little exhausted. So I went to the Prospect Park Zoo instead because it's small and it's cute. And it's also right across the street from the Brooklyn Botanic Garden. So I just went and smelled the roses literally for a bit,
Um,
then had brunch with a friend. It was lovely.
that sounds perfect. I've been to the botanical gardens there. I really enjoy seeing your photos that you post from time to time of your flowers and your wanderings. So listen, happy not to put you on the spot, but the last time we spoke, you were talking to us about this book that you're writing. How's that coming along? Can you remind everybody what it's about and what the status is so far?
Sure, it is very much still coming along. My writing coach asked me about a month ago, is there an end in sight? And I said, well, yes, it's historical fiction. He does eventually die, so the book has to end. But it is still going. I'm writing a fictional backstory to the Christmas Carol Good King Wenceslas. Wenceslas was a real duke in medieval Bohemia. His life was very Game of Thrones. It's been super fun delving into this world and doing a ton of research around it. I think I'm at about 150,000 words right now, and I'm not anywhere close to done. So we're probably looking at 200,000 maybe by the time I'm done. Normal books are 80 to 120,000. So this is either a trilogy or War and Peace. I'm not sure.
You know, it can be adapted as the next, Netflix serial too. So you never know. Keep us
You know,
posted.
I
Keep
would hold out for that.
It sounds really fascinating. So we're all ready for you to, cross that finish line and kill him off or make him die, however it ends. I say that with love. All right, so let's see, Happy. You're actually coming into the match with a leftover veto override that you can
Oh,
use. Yeah, so you can use that in
excellent.
addition to whatever comes with your drafting positions. Rena's trivia could be really important to your gameplay. So good luck. All right.
Thanks.
Okay, terrific. So next up is someone who is also drafting for the second time. They made their first appearance in the Brennan Elliott draft way back in August of 2023, and Brennan actually joined that show. So if you're only going to do one draft, that was the one to do. Yes, again, I'm seeing a fist bump from her. But I managed to lure her out of her drafting retirement because honestly, she reminds me so much of Rachel Boston, and we are all very glad that she is here with us today. Welcome back,
Thank you
Amy.
so much. I'm so happy to be here. I can't
Yep.
believe it's 2 years later.
Like, I asked you like right away after that match, and you're like, yeah, absolutely. And then crickets for 2 years. It's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So, so what
I
have you
was
been up to for the last,
what
24 months? No,
24 months. I know.
kidding.
Well, we were talking offline that, I don't get to see all your faces because I'm not on Facebook these
Yeah.
days. So I miss my double decker crew. But yeah, I got my two kids. One's in high school, one's in middle school, which is crazy. And they're like theater kids and they're both in rock bands, so like that keeps us busy. And I'm always playing my ukulele. I write for the newspaper. Yeah,
You're
it's
busy,
life
you're
in
doing
life in
stuff.
small town Connecticut. Yeah, I'm doing stuff.
It's perfect. And I love that you're in Connecticut. We're New England neighbors, and you must be psychic because I literally, my next question was, okay, any new ukulele songs?
Always. I mean, that's one of the things I miss. So my poor friends and family, I send them videos all the time. I'm just like, here I am singing Galileo, singing, whatever. I was working on a Justin Timberlake song today. Yeah, so it's
Oh
always
my gosh.
yeah.
Indigo Girls, Galileo? That
Indigo
one, or
Girls Galileo, yeah. One of the
man,
best.
how do we get to be friends and family so we can see that
Well, we'll
too?
see. We'll see. I don't know
We'll
if we
talk.
want
We'll
that.
talk.
Yeah.
We'll absolutely talk. All right. Well, you are not someone who has, struck me as being an aggressive competitor, but you're no pushover either. Like I said, you're a very savvy player. You co-won that Brennan Elliott draft. The person that was one of your co-panelists
hmm
is also on this panel again. That's just a crazy coincidence. I didn't plan it that way. How are you feeling? You ready to do battle today?
I'm ready. It's so much more relaxed though going into it when you've done it before. It's so hard to understand how it's going to work before you do it. So if I had to explain it to someone right now, I still couldn't, but I know that I can do it
You can do
somehow.
it. And just remember, if you win, you're eligible to compete in the championship
Oh
again,
God,
which
I
you
remember
really
that.
loved.
Yeah, that's where I really come to life. Okay, I'm ready. I'm excited.
You're ready. You're ready. All right. Well, um, because of the way that match turned out with Brendan Elliott's list, you do not have anything extra coming into this match, but that trivia round is still equally important for you. Okay, so sit back, enjoy, chill out for just a couple of seconds while I get to our final panelist. Last but not least, folks, she is the reigning 2024 HMD champion. She was my awesome co-host in March for the Mystery Series premiere draft. Her phone flipping strategy when having to make tough picks has not failed her yet. I can't wait to see what she does here tonight. Welcome, Jenna. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing really well. How's that trophy doing these days?
It's good. It's on my table near the shake weight. As I mentioned on the mystery one, conversational pieces, both that they are, you know,
For different reasons.
for
Yeah.
both totally different reasons.
They can both double as a murder weapon, though, in their
They
own
are.
way, right?
Yes, they can.
Right. Was it hard for you to put together this list for Rachel Boston this time around? There's only 14 movies. It is a top 10 list, so only four aren't going to make it. So some people think that's really easy to peel out this four, but it's actually harder than when you have a list of 30 or 40 or 50. How was it for
Yeah,
you?
it was hard just because for the most part I liked almost every movie. So it was just a matter of there was phone flipping involved of trying to get that top 10. Certain movies I had like do I want it here or here? You know what I mean? So it was hard just trying to figure out the placement.
Yeah, it's going to be a really interesting match. I was telling Rena off air yesterday, when I put the panels together, I always go for a certain vibe, people that are going to play well off of each other. And I would describe this panel with great love as two kittens and a bobcat. So we will see. Their mics are muted, but they are laughing their heads off. I'm not going to say who the bobcat is. Pick your own bobcat, pick your own
That
kitten, but
happened to me last time. That was my last draft, Lynn.
I
You did
know.
it to me last time.
I know, but you co-won, so you never count the kitten out, right, Rena?
True.
You
Don't count
don't
out a
count out
kitten.
don't count out the kids. I think I've
Absolutely.
stalled long enough, but wait, Jenna, actually there is one more thing. Jenna's coming into the match with two leftover vetoes from Allison Sweeney. She has a lot of power before we even get to the trivia. So good luck to all three of you. Rena's going to put you through your paces with the trivia round, and then we'll figure out drafting positions and all that good stuff. So take it away, Rena.
Okay, here we go. Here are the three trivia rules. One, you can't answer until I finish asking the question. No jumping in before I finish speaking. It's very powerful, this. As soon as I finish asking the question, raise your Zoom hand and I will call on the first person who raised their hand. But you must give your answer right away. And then I will let you know if your answer is right or wrong. If you're wrong, you can't guess again until the other drafters have made a guess. And then 3, if nobody knows the answer, we'll move on to another question. So anyone have any questions? Okay, well, I have some. They're sitting right here. So get your Zoom hands ready, and here goes question number 1. Rachel gets wrapped up in keeping her fortunes bright in a ring by spring. What book is young Rachel reading as her family goes camping? Jenna.
Romeo and Juliet.
That is correct.
So, Jenna, you can sit back and relax for a second. Think about which drafting position you want as Amy is hyperventilating. Happy is just like, why did I sign up to do this again? Good luck, you two.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
Okay, here we go. Rachel and Vic Webster are elbow deep in cookie dough and a mystery in a Christmas cookies catastrophe. Whose employee code was used to steal the cookie recipe?
Jenna raised her hand, listeners.
Jenna can't raise her hand again. Should I give them the answer?
Amy. Amy has her
Amy
hand
raised.
up.
Oh,
Amy has her hand up.
Amy.
Well, never mind, because I don't want to like hurt myself by answering incorrectly.
You won't hurt yourself. You can give it a
I
shot.
guess if you were gonna move on. No, I changed my mind. Go on. I don't know.
Okay. All right, we'll move on to the next question.
I don't know. I don't trust myself.
The answer to that was grandma's.
Okay.
Rachel and Paul Green bring us a nostalgic holiday-ismas in Christmas in Angel Falls. What does Paul hang on the church using a fire truck? Amy.
A wreath? Oh.
Nope. Happy? No?
Can't remember.
Okay. Jenny, do you want to tell them?
I just shoved pizza in my mouth. A gold star on
A
the front of the
star.
church.
Wow. I do remember
Okay.
him hanging it. And I remember going, like it was like daytime and you could barely see it. Okay.
Going ahead. Rachel and David Alpey find love on the rocks, working together to win in ice sculpture contest. What is the name of the food charity Rachel's dad wants to start? Amy.
It's like Anna's Angels or something like
Ding,
that.
ding, ding, ding,
Oh
ding.
my God.
He shoots and scores.
You got it.
It was the picture. Remember they had like a ridiculous illustration.
Marina, great job with those questions, you guys. You guys did a wonderful job. Happy chose not to answer. This was strategy on her part,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah, let's go with that.
We're gonna go with that.
It has nothing to do with not being able to find my hand raised function or not knowing the answers to the questions. Nothing at all. That was strategy.
Strategy.
And Jenna's so chill, she's just gonna have dinner, eat pizza, and just crush everyone here.
Totally.
All right, so here we go. Jenna, here are the drafting positions. There's 3 of them, A, B, and C. Drafter C picks positions 10, 7, and 3. Drafter C gets 1 veto card and a veto override card. Drafter B picks positions 9, 6, 4, and 2, and they get 1 veto card. They're getting only 1 card because they get 4 picks instead of 3, so more opportunities to get their titles onto the final list than anyone else. And then drafter A picks positions 8, 5, and the number 1 position on the list. They get 1 veto card and 1 bonus veto card as well. So, as I said, you're coming into the match with 2 leftover vetoes as well. Gosh, which position are you going to go with? A, B, or C?
I did my phone flip and I am going to be B.
B, as in boy? Okay, so
Yes.
Jenna's going to be B. So she'll have picks 9, 6, 4, and 2. She has 1 veto that comes with that position. Plus she has 2 extra vetoes. You could have, is there a reason why you didn't go for drafter A where you would end up with like veto for almost every single round?
I flipped my phone.
And you followed your phone flip? All right,
Mm-hmm.
good. Yeah, never challenged the phone flip. Okay,
Yep.
so Jenna's going to be B. So Amy, that leaves you with C or A.
I
What do
would
you
like to
think?
be A, please.
Amy is going to be drafter A, so she'll have picks 8, 5, and the number one pick, and she gets 2 vetoes. And that leaves Happy with drafter C. She's going to kick off the list, so she'll have picks 10, 7, and 3. She has a veto override, and then you have 2 veto overrides that you're bringing into the match.
I
Go
just have a
ahead.
quick question because
Sure.
I'm trying it to only be a kitten, but it says on my sheet that Happy has one leftover veto override.
Oh, 1? Okay. Great. Thank you.
Okay.
Perfect. So you can only have a total of 4 vetoes altogether, and that's exactly what you have. You've got 1 veto and 3 overrides that you'll probably have for the rest of your life. They're very hard to get rid of, but maybe you'll use them today. Who knows? Eligibility for this draft was really straightforward. Rachel Boston had to be the lead in the Hallmark movie. There are 14 of them, as I said. Cameos don't count. She had a cameo in A Biltmore Christmas, so that one is not eligible. You can see the list of movies for all of our drafts, as well as the top 10 final lists and the panelists who drafted them on our Letterboxd account, thanks to Kate Baca. That's at Hallmark Drafts, so be sure to check that out. So, with that said, we're going to go right into gameplay, Happy. So, what are you thinking?
All right, I'm gonna say upfront, making this list was really hard because all of her movies are great. She's also a little bit typecast, so a lot of the movies kind of feel the same in terms of storyline. So I had a hard time taking out 4, but my number 10 is Ice Sculpture Christmas.
All right, so we were just using that in one of the trivia questions. So that one's from 2015. David Alpay is David. Rachel is Callie. After starting her first job at a country club restaurant, Callie, an aspiring chef, reconnects with her childhood friend David, whose wealthy family is a member of the club. And when David enters Callie into the club's annual Christmas ice sculpting competition, without her knowledge, she's forced to go head to head with her boss, Chef Gloria. Sparks are ignited between Callie and David as they prepare for the competition as a team. Why did you choose this for number 10?
I think there's a lot to love about this movie. Callie has a really great relationship with her dad. She has good chemistry with the lead. Their banter is very witty. Um, it's lovely. I think what made me like this movie less than others is that the bad guy, the sous chef in the kitchen, like she's just unnecessarily mean. And I don't want that in a Christmassy movie. I don't want there to be mean people. So that's where it kind of fell a little bit lower on my list.
All good reasons. But I think anyone who's worked in the restaurant industry might say that that chef is probably more realistic than unrealistic. But I get your point. I get your point. All right, Jenna, you're first up in the veto order. Ice Sculpture Christmas at number 10. What do you think?
Um, I like this movie. It was probably the movie that she was kissing somebody the most, like of any of the movies. They had a good earlier kiss. There's lots of kissing throughout the movie, and I liked it. Her and the lead had good chemistry. I kept on screaming, "Why is he always going in the kitchen?" I worked in restaurants from I was 16 to 34. So I can't handle it. She went and washed her hands and then she went and touched her head and then started cutting vegetables. It was like the little things, but I love the dad storyline with the chef. And the chef, I just kept on hearing her voice from Desperate Housewives. I love this because I would just go off and then remember the show. I thought they were cute together too, so I'm good with it.
You're good with it? You're going to leave it there? All right.
Mhm.
So Jenna's okay with it at number 10. Amy, what do you think?
This was also my number 10. So I am perfectly okay with it. I agree with everything everyone's saying. I think my favorite part was the dad and the chef romance. I thought that was really cute and a little different. I laughed a lot at the gingerbread man that they were carving. It was so ridiculous, but in a good way. So, yeah, I liked the kissing. It was fun. I think 10 is a perfect spot for it.
Well, congratulations, Happy. You got your number 10 locked in without too much of a fuss. So Ice Sculpture Christmas is locked in at number 10 by Happy. And so that brings us to you, Jenna, for number 9. What are you going to play?
The Christmas Carousel with Neil Bledsoe in it.
Yep.
It's a royal movie, so we got the sad prince on the carousel at the end, just going around, which you gotta love seeing Neil do that. They had really good chemistry. I like the storyline overall. It's another movie where the dad kind of had a little romance on the side with Heidi. They had all the characters involved. The actress that played Margaret, she's been in a lot of Hallmark movies and up movies in the last couple of years, and she was just in that Hearts Around the Table one, the Kiki. It was like good seeing, her, just to see like the difference in years. I just liked the storyline. It was cute. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, I think that's perfect. Neil Bledsoe as the sad prince going around in that carousel that Rachel Boston's character is trying to help restore for the prince's family. He's a trip and a half. This movie's from 2020, believe it or not. I can't believe it's 5 years ago at this point, but all good points. Who doesn't like a sad prince at number 9? I think we're going to find out, Amy. Do you like a sad prince at number 9? Christmas Carousel?
Uh, I don't like this movie at all. It's not on my list, but it's not, I can't fight it. It's like so low down. I will leave it. It's just this movie is very silly to me. The production value was real low. The fitting of the costume, like he's so handsome, met him in real life at Bramblefest, right? Couldn't be more
Mhm.
handsome. He looked so bad. I'm like, how could you make him look bad? Ugh, felt angry. And I don't like royal movies. My kids and I are like, I don't want to be a royal. Like that's my worst nightmare. But anyways, it doesn't matter. It's number 9, so go with God. It's yours.
You sure? You have 2 vetoes.
I'm sure.
Rena, you know what happens when people do this, right? At the bottom of the list, they say it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. When does it start to matter? When you get
To
to number
me?
three, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's okay. She told us to go with God, and that is exactly what we're going to do. But first, we have to go with Happy. Happy.
Yeah, I think we are gonna go with God, who really frowns upon people bullying small children into doing things that they are not comfortable doing. That was not okay. Absolutely not. This should not be on the list.
Happy is going to use her one and only veto. Is that correct?
Sure thing. It
Sure
just cannot
thing.
be on the list.
Happy says no way and no how.
Thank
Is
you.
it
So
my
Thank
only
you.
veto?
Thank
Because
you.
I
it's
have
your
an
only.
extra veto, right?
No, you've got an extra veto override.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
There's a
So
difference, but still, nope, not at all.
no.
We're doing this.
I know. So Amy still sits there with 2 vetoes, making you burn your one. This kitten might have claws. Says it
Care
with a
about this too
smile.
much. I care about this too much. That was just not okay.
All right, A Christmas Carousel comes off at number 9. Anyone can play it again higher up on the list if they choose to. You never know. But in the meantime, Jenna, what are you going to replace it with?
A Rose for Christmas.
A Rose for Christmas. All right. That's from 2017. Rachel Boston is Andy. Mark Ben David is Cliff. You know, before I get to the description, Rachel's co-stars in these Hallmark movies are like one and done for the most part. There's only one or two whose names I recognize. No offense to Mark Ben David. Anyway, Andy's family has built Rose Parade floats for generations, and when her dad gets sick, she's forced to supervise the construction and decoration of their client's float and deal with a demanding businessman whose company commissioned it. Why did you choose this for your replacement at number 9?
Okay, so I love the Rose Parade. I'm just gonna start there. I went out and saw it years ago when Purdue actually made the Rose Bowl back in 2000, 2001. So just like, and I watched the Rose Bowl, the Rose Parade every year. Spoiler alert. Um, so
Oh, Hoosiers.
so it was like just that back thing. But her lead actor is actually on Good Witch. So he's very douchey in the beginning of this movie. And once you pull the stick out of his butt, like they have great chemistry. Like they didn't have chemistry before that, but once he got put in his place and was like, you have to respect like what they do, and he loosened up, it was better. Their chemistry just definitely improved. I like the side storylines with the kid being colorblind. They handled it better than the colorblind movie. They got the guy from the Rose Bowl, the broadcast, and he was in it. The dad is from Chronicle Mysteries. I liked how she did put her art at the end. She was avoiding it. She had good excuses or good reasons why she wasn't doing the art, and then for her to do it at the end. Yeah. So
Well, you made a lot of connections in that in your Hallmark murder board connectivity of who was this and this person was over in here and the dad was also this. So and you love to pot a parade. It is true. So I can see why you chose A Rose Christmas at number 9. Amy, are you liking this choice any better than her first attempt at A Christmas Carousel?
This isn't one of my faves, but I think it's okay. I really like Dominic from Good Witch. I think he's very hot. Um, yeah, I think he's hot. That's really what did it for me on this one. I don't have much more to say. I don't like parades. I did think the premise was silly. The bear is so creepy and weird, like the hydraulics on that bear. I'm like, you guys shouldn't be. They're so proud of it. And I'm like, just don't show it to us. Um, but sure, he's really hot, and it was cool to really see it in the parade at the end. That was fun that they really were at the Rose Bowl. So sure, I think it's fine.
Amy thinks it's fine. There's nothing wrong with letting the movie slide because somebody's hot in it. That's okay. And hotness trumps a creepy bear. Maybe all this movie lacked was those color correcting glasses that the Christmas colorblind
Oh
movie
my God.
had.
Yep.
Chris Russell is hogging those evidently. Happy. You can't do anything about it, but we still want to know your thoughts on A Rose Christmas at number 9 because it's definitely locked in because you don't have a veto.
No, that's fine. I mean, this wasn't on my list, but like I said, it was hard to kind of rank them, especially the ones that were more middle of the road for me. I do really like the banter between them after our lead figures his stuff out and starts acting like a normal human being. That's really great. I also like that there's a lot of side stories. It had a good supporting cast. So yeah, this is fine.
This is
I'm not
good.
upset.
You know what? This is incredible. That you got this movie accepted at number 9 because you are the only player, Jenna, that had this movie on your list. So I don't know how you managed this, but congratulations. Rena, what did you think of the whole parade element of this movie?
So I adore the Rose Parade. One, it's in California, and I'm sitting in the cold in New Jersey as a kid going, oh, wow, wouldn't it be great? And when I lived in LA, I never had time to go to the Rose Parade because we had shows on New Year's. I've been to the Macy's parade, and it's such a different animal. I love the part where she asks what the, I can't remember what it was, but the recipe for making like there a certain part, right? Like, and she's like rattles off, that the expert, the friend. And I was just like, oh, that's so interesting. I would love to like watch that happen one year. I didn't buy them as a couple. I liked him on Good Witch, but he's not really one of my favorite actors. So it just wasn't going to make it onto the list for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I've only seen one Good Witch episode, so I wasn't familiar with his name. So I've learned something I know shocking. I'm sorry, Amy. I'm sorry.
I only
Shocking.
watched it this past year, but I became obsessed with it. I love it. I
Well, maybe
really, really love it, sort of inexplicably, but I think you should give it a try.
I
I'll give
watch
it
it
a
over
try.
and over again on
It's
repeat.
so comforting,
Yeah.
except the last season, but whatever. It's so comforting.
Well, James Denton is something to like. James Denton,
Mhm.
Oh my God.
hello.
I'm like, get this man cloned. Oh, yeah,
Can I add one more thing? So
Sure.
this movie is the same publication date as another movie, both 2017. So I'm like, how did she do two Christmas movies in the same year? So I went and looked at the ones. This one was released on New Year's Day 2017. The other
Mm.
one was like Christmas time 2017.
so,
But
oh,
in the parade, if you watch, because I like parades, I'm a band geek. I did parades forever. That they had Iowa in the parade, and I googled when Iowa's one was in the Rose Bowl. They were in the Rose Bowl in 2016. Depending on how you call that, they used like the prior years like stuff because there's no way they could have done it that day.
You went down a rabbit hole
I did.
happily. Way to go, Jenna. That was great. I'm with Amy. I'm 5'2". I hate parades. I'm never they do nothing for me. Someone's always blocking my view, so that's it. Okay, Amy, finally, it's your first pick here at number 8. What are your thoughts?
okay. Um, I'm staring at it like interesting pick me. My number 8 is The Last Bridesmaid, um, starring Paul Campbell. And yeah, Rachel plays a sort of always the bridesmaid, never the bride character. She's like a professional bridesmaid. And difficulties in love, which always happens to Rachel in these. I don't have time, I'm busy, I'm a professional, that kind of thing. Or I'm a professional bridesmaid. There's a whole element where she's gonna, oh my God, she's gonna inherit her parents' insurance agency and the burden of that, and like she hates insurance, but like she's got to take on the insurance agency, and her parents are like obsessed with insurance, but she really wants to be a jeweler. So she meets Paul Campbell, who is a videographer of the wedding, and they strike up a friendship, and they both encourage each other to follow their creative dreams, and that's sort of the premise of it. This was sort of one that battled out, like, am I gonna have it on? I tend to like Paul Campbell in these movies. I do think he's funny. This character was a little strange. He freaked out at the end, which almost kicked the movie out, but it got saved. It felt like a realistic romance, actually. I liked that they got to know each other over a number of months. They did not fall in love immediately. They supported each other in their like creative endeavors. They made each other laugh. It actually felt like, well, I can sort of see this really happening. I think they have good chemistry. The scenery was beautiful. And yeah, I liked it.
And for all the weddings that she attended, she didn't have to wear one really bad bridesmaid's dress, which
No,
in itself was amazing.
yeah.
So Nina Weinman wrote this, and we're doing a Nina Weinman draft in August. Nina's going to join the show, so that'll be a lot of fun. This is from 2019. Kenny is in this. Nelson Wong makes an appearance. I think he's I don't know, he's like one of the coat check guys or something like that. You'll see him in the background. There is going to be an inheritance draft in 2028. I know, don't shoot me, but that's true. It is 2028. If you listened to the draft that was done just a month or two ago, where Thaddeus made his pitch for a Andrew Walker, Nikki DeLoach Lifetime movie in the Wrong series, he came up with The Wrong Inheritance, and then I put together this magnet that they all got showing Nikki and Lisa DeRope and Vivica A. Fox and
That's
Andrew Walker
awesome.
and The Wrong
Oh my God.
Inheritance. So I think in the list of inheritances in these Hallmark movies, inheriting your parents' insurance company is maybe one notch up from half a in. Perhaps. Okay. The Last Bridesmaid at number 8 is what Amy is playing. Jenna, you are first up in the veto order, and you have 3 of them. What are you thinking about The Last Bridesmaid at number 8?
I like this movie. It was another douchey character in the beginning. Told you I'm gonna use this word a lot. But again, once you took the stick out of his butt, it got better because, like in the beginning, like he called her a hopeless romantic and this and that. He was just so negative on things, and it got better. They have good chemistry. Like Amy said at the end, he shouldn't have like said what he said and whatever and how it happened, but you got to have a conflict somewhere, right? I liked it, so we'll stay.
Yeah, all right. It'll stay. Happy. Are you any happier about The Last Bridesmaid at number 8?
Yeah, I mean, it was actually a little higher up on my list. And a lot of that is because I absolutely adore Paul Campbell. I think he's such a talented actor. His timing is great. He's just super funny. So that was part of why it was higher up for me. But I like this movie. Um, I'm not sure I agree with you that she didn't have any bad bridesmaid dresses. Yellow is a weird color. Yellow is a weird color. I liked the dress itself, but I would have liked it better if it was like lilac or something.
True, true.
Um,
Yeah, I think you're right. I was maybe a little generous. Rena, have you ever had a summer where you've had to go to like 2 weddings,
Ah, too
3
many,
weddings?
too many, too many bridesmaids dress. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
Those days are long gone, but yes.
it can be rough. All right, Happy, we're back to you. Believe it or not, number 7, we've got an ice sculpture Christmas at 10, a rose Christmas at 9, at 8, The Last Bridesmaid, and at 7, what strikes your fancy? Did I just say that? That is like, like what
20.
decade is that from?
I mean, it was kind of appropriate given the movie that I'm going to play, which is A
Oh,
Gift of Miracles, which is all about fancy and
yeah.
serendipity and strange coincidences.
A Gift of Miracles. So this is one of her earlier ones, not her very first, but this might have been her second one. A Gift of Miracles from 2015. Rachel is Darcy. Jesse Moss is Nathan, so he's in a lead role here. He's a very familiar face in Hallmark. You will see him in a supporting role. There is a Jesse Moss draft coming up in 2027, so you can see that one before you do the inheritance draft. Just saying. So Rachel is Darcy, as I said, and Darcy is a PhD candidate. She finds a list of belongings her mother had intended to give to close friends and family, and she sets out to fulfill those wishes. It's a very poignant movie. Why do you like this at number 7, Happy?
I think there's just something so real to life about it. And a lot of times that's not what you're looking for when you go to watch a Hallmark movie. You're looking for some sort of escape. Um, but there's just something so sweet about all of the encounters she has along the way, meeting her mother's friends, finding out things about her life that her dad had never shared because he was just so heartbroken that she was gone. So I felt like it was the kind of movie that just like brings you a bit of catharsis and healing for yourself along the way. I had a really good cry while I was watching this movie again. I'd forgotten how sad it is in parts, but it's also incredibly delightful. And again, they have this incredible banter. It's one of the things that Rachel is really good at. And I would give so much to know how much of that is ad-libbed versus scripted because it's just so good.
I'm going to have to watch this one again. I think because of where things are with my mom and her journey at this moment, this was not one that I was able to really bring myself to rewatch. But I always love your take on these movies, Happy, because you're very thoughtful, and I think you've really kind of encouraged me, knowing that you cried no matter what. People speak very highly about Rachel's performance in it. I haven't seen it in probably 6 years, so maybe it's time. Okay, A Gift of Miracles at number 7. Jenna, you're first up in the veto order. What are you thinking about this movie?
This was one of the movies that I liked, and I was doing a lot of phone flipping to try to figure out what position it would go in because it's old Hallmark. It's serious, but there's some laughter in it and everything that Happy said, and it has Rita Moreno in it. And it's just the part at the, I'm not going to spoil it because you haven't watched it in forever. And I'm sure a lot of people haven't seen it. They're going to listen to this, but like the part towards the end, I got teared up on it. And it's Rita Moreno. I mean, come on. It was nice to see Jesse in a lead because you see him as like a side character so often in movies, especially now still too. I loved how everything was linked. And once she took a stick out of her butt in the beginning of the movie, then you saw her character growth. For him to say her dissertation was boring and is no feeling and is missing passion in this, and he says he did his a eulogy for himself for his dissertation, it's just one of those things where you're like, what? But they had good chemistry. I'm one of those crazy people that believe everything happens for a reason. And I loved how everything linked together.
Yeah. I don't think you're crazy for that. I believe that too. Or maybe we're both crazy. I don't know. But I saw everybody else was nodding their heads when you were making that statement. All right. It's okay with Jenna. So, Amy, that just leaves you and your two vetoes, A Gift of Miracles at number 7. What are your thoughts?
I like this here. I learned a lot through this draft because every time I saw a movie come up that was HMM, I was like, no, I don't, because I don't watch HMM movies. Like I'm just like, not for me. I don't like the dramatic ones. I just don't. Um, but I had to. And I was surprised every time that I was like, oh, there's a reason that people like, I'm like looking, was I surprised every time? No, it didn't always work out well, but um it did more than I would think. And that was good for me. Like, this was cathartic. This was really lovely, unexpected. Just I cried. Like you and there's a lot of things I avoid. There's a lot of subjects in my life. I'm like, nope, because of that, nope, because of that. And it showed me like I can handle it. Like I can handle it and watch it and it's okay. So yeah, I like this at 7.
All right. So this is going to stay at 7. I will give it another watch. But, Jenna tossed out Rita Moreno. So come on, Rena.
I also didn't necessarily feel like I could watch it again recently. But Rita, you've got Rita Moreno. She's an icon. She's amazing. In real life, she's like totally amazing.
Absolutely. That brings us to number 6 with Jenna back up at bat, still holding her 3 vetoes. What are you going to play? Do you need to flip your phone? Will this movie involve any stick removal?
I did flip the phone. I'm gonna go with Stop the Wedding with Niall
Oh,
Mater, whatever. And
so,
Alan Thicke. Can't forget him.
Rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
obviously. Yes. Maybe rest in peace,
A
Alan Thicke.
Brian reference.
I think I did it for Bry Guy. Stop the Wedding. Rachel Boston is Anna. Niall Mater is Clay. This is another movie that's written by Nina Wyman. She co-wrote it with Stephanie Bond. The storyline is when a young single attorney finds out her charming aunt is getting married to a TV star, known as much for his failed marriages as his acting career. That's Alan Thicke, not Niall. She tries to stop the wedding and finds a love along the way. Tell us why you're playing this one at number 6, Jenna.
Um, this is a movie that I always have in my queue and I'll watch it in the background. It's a movie I watch all the time. Both leads are great. They have good chemistry from the beginning, from they spill. Who knows who spilled the coffee on each other, but it ended up there. His was a character that once he got the stick out of his butt, then we were good to go forward when he tried to bribe her because he was thinking that was the fiance of Alan Thicke. I can see he would be protective when you have a dad like that. Da, 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 da. They had a good elevator kiss. They had good chemistry, good kiss at the end. Like their little funny hijinks through it, like when they were trying to track her aunt and his dad down in Vegas. It was fun to watch. And like the Vegas weddings and the older couple that they talked to, it was sweet. They had just crashed a wedding, right? Oh, and I like the old lady hitting him in the airport. So I thought it was cute.
This is a great movie. One of the things I love about Nina Wyman's scripts is she can deliver in the comedy and the snappy dialogue as well as the poignant stuff. A lot like Julie Sherman Wolfe, of course. Great choice. Stop the Wedding at number 6. Amy, is it going to stay there at number 6?
Yeah, I had it higher, but it's okay with me there. It wasn't like way higher. I liked this movie a lot. I really liked seeing Alan Thicke. I watched so much Growing Pains as a kid that he's just so cozy to me. Even though he's just unhinged in this movie, he's manic. Like, just get this man checked out. But it was so lovely to see him. I think he passed like within a year or something after making it. So
Yeah.
that was very tender. I loved the father-son relationship. I loved Niall. Chemistry was great. It's funny, Jenna, I'm not really a rewatcher, but a couple days later I put it on again because it's just like feel good. It's based on a book, I think, which often helps things, right? It felt like a real movie. I liked it.
Amy likes it. Happy. That means it stays here, but we still want to know what you think about Stop the Wedding at number 6.
Like it. I had it a little higher on my list as well. But again, that whole trying to figure out how to order things that are so close, like the criteria is so arbitrary. I didn't know where to put it exactly. I just knew it was towards the top. I absolutely love Niall Mater. I think he is probably my favorite Hallmark actor. He's very good at just picking up those funny beats. So that's my main reason for putting it so high up. Yeah, I agree with everything that everyone said. This movie is great and it is a feel good.
Wonderful movie, wonderful script, good acting. My husband, too, is not into like popular culture, doesn't really know one actor from the other. I was rewatching this and he said, "Oh, wow, James Bond is in this. James Bond plays the dad." And I'm like, who are you talking about? James Bond. I said, "That's Alan Thicke." And he's, "No, that's Pierce Brosnan." Okay, first of all, how do you even know Pierce Brosnan's name? Because you know no one. But no, that is Alan Thicke. And he's like, "No, it's Pierce Brosnan." I had to go to my phone and show him IMDb. Pierce Brosnan in a Hallmark movie, I'll take it, right? Okay, Amy, it's up to you. We're at number 5 already.
Oh my
What
gosh.
are you going to offer up halfway through?
Okay, for number 5, I have Check Into Christmas. This stars Wes Brown as Rachel's romantic lead, and they are from two competing families who both have inns. It's like a Montague and Capulet situation where they're just like, we cannot love each other. They had never really been friends, except they reconnected as adults. And so it's what happens when Rachel comes back into town from her busy lawyer job, waiting to hear if she's going to be partner or not. She's very bitter. She's like, oh, the Christmas festival. And she reconnects with Wes. So this is so heavy duty on Christmas. There wasn't a ton of those in this list. So for me, it stood out when I was watching it in May. It felt really cozy to me, especially the way that the inns were decorated. It made me miss Christmas. It made me think about Christmas. I liked Wes Brown and Rachel together. He's handsome. There's some really silly things in here, like snowball. I don't even remember what it was called, bingo or something. It was silly. It was fun. It was Christmassy. It just was feel good and simple. And yeah, number 5.
Number 5, yeah, it's from 2019. It's the Masons versus the Crawleys. Who knew Christmas inns could be so divisive? In the description for the movie, it says, as the ongoing competition between the two inns escalates, forbidden romance blossoms. Forbidden romance. Come on, Hallmark. Gotta love it. And this movie ranked number 1 in the Wes Brown draft that we did in July 2024. And that was Erin, Stephanie, and Leanne drafting. So Check Into Christmas at number 5 on this list, played by Amy. Jenna, number 5. What do you think?
I really like this movie. This is one of my favorites on the list. They have really good chemistry that had a good mid-movie kiss. You have Al Borland as like the father. whose character's name, oddly enough, was Tim. So it was a funny thing back to Home Improvement. Towards the end where they were dancing, they were literally nose to nose dancing. It was really cute. I think that would be uncomfortable, but that's just me. They had really good chemistry and it was fun. The cast overall was a good supporting cast because you had all those competitions happening. And of course, they're going to team up against the big bad guy. It was cute. It was like a lighter movie to me.
Absolutely. All right, so check into Christmas stays at number 5. Happy you burned your veto at number 9. You took a stand. So ever since then, you're just maybe hoping for someone to throw a veto that you can override to get rid of some of those veto overrides. I don't know. What are your thoughts on
You
checking to
know
Christmas
what?
at number 5?
I stand by my use of that veto. I could not let that go. I am disappointed that this is landing at number 5 because I think it is one of Rachel Boston's best movies. I love this movie. I watch it several times a year. It is very cozy. They have great chemistry. It's just funny. And again, great supporting cast. There is that one thing where like grandma tells a story about some aunt and it's like, why? Why is this relevant? It's not. Um, but that's like the only throwaway scene in the whole movie. It's just great. They get up to so many hijinks. It's just charming.
To me, that was like the comparison because it was a Crawley and a Mason. She had her heart broken and she didn't want her granddaughter to get her heart broken.
Good point. I'm going to do a state of the list really quickly. We've got Ice Sculpture Christmas at 10, A Rose Christmas at 9, at 8, The Last Bridesmaid at 7, A Gift of Miracles at 6, Stop the Wedding at 5, Check into Christmas, and at number 4, Jenna, it's all up to you. Still sitting there with 3 vetoes, and Happy just begging you to play one so she can override it.
I'm gonna go with Dating the Delaney's.
Okay, 2022. It's another Rachel Boston, Paul Campbell pairing. It's 3 generations of Delaney women explore the highs and lows of modern day dating, learning that love and romance can be found at any age and sometimes where you least expect it. Why do you like this one for number 4?
I just think like her and Paul have really good chemistry. I loved his character. He was kind of like the girl in the movie where he's like pick me type thing. Usually it's the girl character that's a pick me type thing. He was vulnerable. He put himself out there and he's like, I'm just sitting here. I'm hanging here while you're going on these horrible dates. Those bad dates that she's been on, I think most of us on this panel have probably been on dates similar to that or close to it. At least I have, and it's not good. You do try to escape. And in my head, she did leave the quartet early. She just bounced. She peaced out. Like in my head, because they didn't show the end of that date. She was like, peace out, dude. So at first you think maybe it's kind of a split time, but they're the main characters. You still get fun with the mom and her pickleball guy and the daughter's crush. The hard thing for me is, and I, again, rabbit hole, the guy that played the crush, the new kid, as they kept calling him, John, this movie was 2022, and he was
Yes.
playing a high schooler. Also in 2022 was the first Curious Caterer, where he played a cop. So I was trying to Google this guy's age to find out which is right. Is he in the middle? Where are you, dude? Where are you? This age scale in my head was weird. I liked when Paul gave her the barometer thing at the end because I personally didn't like how she called him the barometer earlier in the movie. But yeah, I just thought it was a really cute movie.
I love your deep research into how old is this person? Is he a teenager or is he a policeman? What is happening here? Really good. All right, dating the Delaney's is Jenna's pick at number 4. She still has one more pick because she is drafter B. So you'll be picking again at number 2. So Amy, drafter A, dating the Delaney's at number 4. You have 2 vetoes. What do you think of this movie in that slot?
So this is hard because this is one of my very favorites. The strategy of this is difficult. It's one of my
You,
very favorites. I saw this when it came out. and I hadn't recorded it or something. Anyways, I've never done this for a Hallmark movie, but I bought it on like Apple. Like I own this now because it felt so relevant to my life. I'm a single mom. The way they did dating was so like it was my favorite scene of any of these movies I saw, a comedic scene, was when she went to dinner with the first guy and the waiter says to her, "You can just leave." And the way that, or my first part is when she's just like, "We all know you're on a first date." And she looks around and everyone, all the customers, all the diners are like, "We know you're on a first date." And she's like, "Oh," she's so cute and funny. She's like, "Me? You, oh, you can tell?" And then he's like, "You can go home." Oh my God. So anyways, I really, really like this movie. So man, I don't want it at 4, and I do have some vetoes, but I guess I'll play a veto. Why not?
Amy will play one of her vetoes. She still has one left. Dating the Delaney's comes off at number 4. I'm assuming that means that we're going to hear about it again. So we'll wait to check in on everybody else's thoughts, which would basically be Happy at this point, Happy and Rena. Let's see what happens. Jenna, I'll need a replacement then for number 4 since Dating the Delaney's, unless, hang on, Happy, you have a whole barrel full of veto overrides. Do you want to override Amy's veto and keep Dating the Delaney's at number 4?
I don't actually, because I agree with Amy that this should be higher up on the list. It does make me a little bit afraid of what Jenna's gonna play instead. But no, I'm totally fine with having this be vetoed right now.
Okay, so the veto stands. So Jenna, what is your replacement pick for number 4?
The Christmas Carousel.
Oh,
What in the world?
Okay.
and
What are we doing?
the Christmas Carousel. All right. You have already spoken about the Christmas Carousel when you played it at number 9. Was there anything else that you want to add to what you previously said before I ask Amy if she would like to veto this?
I'm good.
You're good? Okay, Amy. She's played the Christmas Carousel, which got vetoed by Happy at number 9.
Mm-hmm. I will veto it again.
Christmas Carousel has been vetoed again.
I hate that movie. It's like, I can't. I hate it. So whatever. The vetoes are gone. Bye. Neil,
Bye.
you were treated so poorly in that outfit. This is for you. Justice for Neil.
Never
Justice.
mind about the bullied princess.
Well, that too, but mostly justice for Neil.
Oh my God. Listeners, the jaws just dropped when Jenna said the Christmas Carousel again. Just the faces on Happy, on Rena, on Amy, on me. It was just like, what?
You need to
Well,
screenshot it. It was good. I was watching.
all right, Jenna, 2 strikes here. What are you really going to play now at number 4? Because whatever it is stays. You're the only one with vetoes left. Unless you self-veto, pull a Bram.
I can't play Dating the Delaney's again.
No, you have to pick a different movie.
Christmas Cookie Catastrophe with Victor Webster.
Christmas Cookie Catastrophe. From 2022, Vic Webster, as you said. So Rachel Boston is Annie. She's got big shoes to fill when she takes over as CEO of her late grandmother's small town cookie company and is doing her best to help their struggling business get back on track. But guess what? Somebody steals her grandmother's cookie recipe at the Christmas party, and now she's on the hunt to try to figure out not only who stole the recipe, but, what is the recipe? What's going to happen? So she teams up with Sam, the owner of a local bakery, that's Vic Webster, and they're going to try to recreate the recipe in the hope of saving the company and her job. This was ranked number 8 in the Vic Webster draft back in June of 2024 with Erin Elizabeth. and Jenna. All right, Jenna, tell us why you're playing this one at number 4.
I love this movie. I just love Victor Webster, of course. I did his draft. He's always so good. He's always so good with the kids in the movies. And it has Avery Peters in it. And she's such a cute little actress. And, she's won a couple of Duckies. Once you took the stick out of Rachel's butt, she was better when she kind of got more acclimated to the community and kind of in it. Um, to me, there really wasn't a mystery. Like I kind of knew who did it because based off of the shoes and the pants, you figure it out pretty fast. It has Erica Tovley in it as the IT guy, and he is just awesome. Him and the assistant together are cute. Rachel and Victor have great chemistry. When she's like, I just wanted you to hold my hand, my heart broke at that point. And at the end, he's like, can I hold your hand? They had a good kiss at the end, and he picked her up and he twirled her around. It was a cute ending to me. I liked them throughout, and a good supporting cast again.
Great cast, great script, good dynamics between the two leads. So it will stay at number 4, as I said, because everyone is out of vetoes. Amy, anything you'd like to say about A Christmas Cookie Catastrophe?
I like this movie a lot. When I first watched it in real time, I don't think I paid close enough attention. It just felt okay to me. When I rewatched it, I was surprised by how much I liked it, especially that line you said, Jenna. It was so good. I cried actually because she said, like, I just wanted to hold your hand. That just felt so real. It didn't feel like a Hallmark line. And I cried at that. And, just the struggles of being a single parent. I really understood why he was resistant. It made sense. It wasn't a silly, made up problem. I think this is a really good movie. Good choice.
Good choice. So you used 2 vetoes on that one slot, so I know you're happy with that. Happy, are you happy with this?
I mean, whatever. This movie didn't make my list at all. And it's not because I disagree with anything that anyone has said. There are a lot of very charming things about this movie. Victor Webster is fantastic. I don't think Hallmark understands how cookie factories work. There's more baking in this movie than there are in all of the Hannah Swenson movies, which are based in bakeries put together. It's weird. I don't really understand the plot of this movie at all. It seems like a very big stretch to be like, somebody stole the recipe, it's dangerous. Did they really not have it written down anywhere? Come on, you have computers. But it's fine. It's not a bad movie. It's just fine.
It's fine. Rena, what do you think of this movie?
So
A Christmas Cookie Catastrophe.
I actually had this movie at 5. I actually really love this movie because I do think there's a good amount of comedy in it. And like absurd comedy, right? Like sneaking around the disguises. It was just insane. The most insane thing is that he's running a bakery with one oven. But
That's broken.
that bothers me more than anything else. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
But I think it's a fine movie, and I think they have good chemistry, and the kid is amazing, and Erica Talbot, it's like, my favorite of the character actors of Hallmark. So
This was my number 10. It barely made my list because I don't own a bakery. I don't work in a bakery, but I have a double wall oven at least. So I can bake 4 sheets of cookies at one time and produce more than his bakery. Just saying. All right. So Happy, this is all for you, Happy. We're at number 3. Your final pick of the match? We're out of runway now. What is going to be number 3 on this list? Unless Jenna vetoes it. She's the only one who can do anything. She's thinking hard.
I am, because I really want my number 1 to make this list, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to. So I'm going to play Dating the Delaney's at number 3.
Tell us about Dating the Delaney's from your perspective.
I think it's one of those true to life Hallmark movies again, right? Like it's not necessarily entirely an escape. It's very relatable on so many levels. I do love the multi-generational element of it. I think it's super fun to watch mom, daughter, and granddaughter going through relationship changes all at the same time and dealing with them in their own ways. I think there's something really just elevated about that in a way that we don't always get in these movies. And it's just charming. I mean, as Amy was saying, that scene in the restaurant where she's like, oh my gosh, I can leave? That is the most freeing part of being on a blind date, is that it does not matter. You can just go.
Well played. Dating the Delaney's at number 3. Jenna, you're the only one with a veto. Is it going to stay there at number 3?
Well, I wanted it at 4, so I'm fine.
Okay, so Jenna, that brings us to number 2. This is your final pick. Oh boy, I can't read your face. What are you going to play at number 2?
I feel like we're back in the Allison Sweeney
This
one
could be
again.
anything. I feel like Jenna could literally say anything, and I'd be like, okay.
She good.
What is the veto situation?
You're the only one with a veto. Whatever you say makes the list. So, listeners, we are going to see if Jenna chooses chaos or does she choose to play with love? Is she going to play what her actual number 2 is?
Think of Rachel.
I am, and that's what I'm afraid of. If I go with what I have as my number 2, I'm scared for what number 1 will be. So because I think there's, in my opinion, only one movie left that deserves to be number 1 of the 5 or 6.
That's how I feel, but I don't know if we feel the same way. I wish we had a way to communicate.
I've seen everyone's list, but I can't help you. What does your phone say? Mm.
Okay.
And your birds got really quiet. I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign.
There's no storm coming, so I don't know why. Yeah, they did get quiet. Okay, we're gonna flip the phone.
I feel the tension in the air.
Chaos wins. Christmas Carousel.
Oh. Oh. Oh, A Christmas Carousel, the movie that was vetoed at number 9 and number 4 is now on the final list. It was vetoed by Happy. It was vetoed by Amy. And Jenna said, yeah, you know what? The Christmas Carousel. You're right, people. It should be number 2. That's where it's going to be played.
That's what my phone says.
I think your phone is ridiculous.
Jenna chose chaos. Oh my goodness. Oh, Happy, Amy, I know. Dilated pupils, heads being shaken to the side.
I'm having a yeah. This is like literally a yeah.
Aneurysm.
No, it just feels like so much like my last draft.
It really does.
Okay, except that someone else had number 1 and I have number 1.
And as I recall, I think the same player was the person who did it before.
Okay. I'm so fascinated with Jenna, like, because I'm surprised what my number 1 is. I'm like, oh, I never would have thought this was my number 1. So I'm like, I wonder what Jenna thinks is the only one that could be number 1.
Well, it's your turn.
Wow. Okay.
Go ahead and play it. Here's the number 1, unless Jenna vetoes it.
My number 1 is The More Love Grows. This was a movie that I dreaded watching. I actually watched it last, because I don't care about like dog movies or like sad movies or all of that. But when I watched it, I was just very moved by this movie. I thought that this was Rachel at her finest acting. It personally spoke to me because of things that have happened to me in my life. I'm 43, so I loved when she was on the couch and she was like, 40, I'm 43. I don't know. I cried more than any other movie. I loved her bond with the dog. There's so many things. My daughter's in high school, and like there's just a lot that I felt was real. This shocked me that this was my number one. It was actually last minute became that, but yeah, that's what I got.
I want to tell you, I don't normally disclose this, but this was my number one. I'm so glad that you played it at number one, if that makes you feel any better
It
or
does make me
not.
feel better because I was like, are they gonna like laugh me out? I don't know.
I'm sorry, it's my number two. I'm sorry, it was my number two.
It
But
was my number two till I sent my list to you, and then it became my
yeah,
number.
yeah, it's my number two, but we have no say in this. So this is all up to Jenna. Jenna, is this going to stay at number one? You
No,
have three
this was
vetoes.
this was my one movie that I was going to veto it no matter where it went on the list. I
Okay.
literally have down, I hate this MF movie. I cannot say that about any other Hallmark movie.
Wow.
Okay, so Jenna has vetoed the number one pick, The More Love Grows. I am not surprised because she is the only person that didn't have this movie on her list. So to see it at number one, my heart was going out to you, Amy. What are
Yeah.
you going to play in its place?
I guess I'm this is so funny, but I guess I'll play A Ring by Spring.
A Ring by Spring. This is Rachel's first movie for Hallmark, I believe, just based on the year, because I think that one was 2014. Kirby Morrow is Tom, Rachel Boston is Karen. Always cynical of marriage, Karen is a confident business consultant. She finally gets a wake-up call when a fortune teller named Madame Rue, played by Stephanie Powers, predicts that she will have a ring by spring or never marry. So Karen scrambles to avoid a destiny of lifetime alone before it's too late. Allie Liebert is in this. Giles Payton is in this movie. It's bonkers fun. Basically, the predictions that Madame Rue makes for her two friends come true. So Rachel's character is like, oh my gosh, I think my current uptight boyfriend is going to propose, but then he ends up breaking up with her and chaos ensues. So why do you like this movie at number one?
Well, I don't like it at number one, but I just enjoyed it. It's silly. It's really old like really, really old Hallmark, which we don't see much anymore. Um, Such a silly premise, but I liked the lead was like Kirby Morrow. I don't know him very well. I've only seen him a couple times. He was just like such a normal guy. I don't know. I thought they had good chemistry. I thought the weird fortune telling thing was just silly. I don't know. I enjoyed it. Old Hallmark.
It's old Hallmark. It's a magical movie, right? It's got like this little
Yeah.
funky twist to it. So Jenna, what are your feelings about Ring by Spring at number one?
So I did go down a rabbit hole on this one because the actor, I really liked him. And it turns out he passed away during the pandemic from substance abuse.
Oh.
Um,
Oh,
and if you look at IMDb, he did a lot of voice characters. So I went down this rabbit hole. There are so many things for him from that community, from all the things that he voiced. And it was because I really liked him. They had good chemistry together right off the bat. But I'm going to veto this movie because I did not like it. I didn't like the message behind it. I didn't like how she was so focused on, I have to get this ring to the point where she went back with an ex. She didn't need to go to her other exes to try to figure out what happened. Like that's something you can do on your own. It's called therapy. Try to work things out. So, veto. I'm sorry.
okay.
I can take anything else left. Those were the two movies that were like hard nose for me. But the more love grows, I literally hate and despise that movie.
Amy, you managed to pick Jenna's too hard nose. What is going to be your third attempt at trying to get a number one movie onto this list?
Um, there's nothing that I like anymore. So I'll just say Field Day.
All right. Field Day is from 2023. Ben Ayers is the co-star. This was written by Julie Sherman Wolfe. Good script. Jen is a widower. She moves back to her husband's hometown. She joins the school's parent-teacher organization. She's forced to work with two moms from different social circles to plan their kids' elementary school field day. This was ranked number 6 in the Julie Sherman Wolf draft back in August, and that list was done by Mary and Dan and me. I like this movie. You've got Ben Ayers showing off his basketball spinning skills on a finger, and he gets dunked in a water tank. The girlfriends steal the show. It's a great ensemble cast. I like this movie at number 1, but it's not up to me.
I just watched it the other night. It's not for me. I like the ensemble cast a lot. I like the girlfriend part a lot. The three friends and the people they chose for the three friends I really, really like. But it didn't hold together for me for a movie. It didn't. I wasn't moved by it like at all. But it was on my list. It was on my top 10.
Yeah, but it wasn't number 1.
No, it was number 9.
Okay, Jenna. You still have one veto left. Is Field Day going to be the number 1 movie?
Yes, because I want my veto for the 26 draft is like 65 movies. I just couldn't do those other two. I liked Field Day. I saw it when it first came out, and I didn't think I was gonna like it because to me, I'm not a mom. I don't have kids. Like, so it's sometimes like with movies like that, it's very hard to get into it because I don't have anything similar with it. But her and Ben had really good chemistry, and especially at the end when they were hugging and he was whispering in her or talking in her ear, and it was just like really good chemistry. I thought it was good. To me, it was a story of the three friends too, but also their character development from the beginning of the movie to the end. I've heard horror stories about pickup, drop off lines. I've heard horror stories about PTA, PTOs. This kind of matched what my friends have always told me, happens sometimes. She had a line in there because one of my friends, she lost her mom when she was young. And the line was when everybody else was ziplining. And she's like, it's like she wanted to do it, but she's like, it becomes a question if something happens to me, what happens to my daughter? And I think that's a question that a lot of parents that are in that situation that they think about all the time. Because I know my friend's dad did that all the time. So I just think it was like good overall. They had good chemistry. Yeah. So I'm gonna keep it.
We have a top 10 list. We have a number 1. What are your thoughts on Field Day at number 1? Are you just relieved that we're done? Like, what's
No, I really liked Field Day. It wasn't my number 1 personally, but I will watch anything that Ben is in. He's such a talented actor. I felt like they did have really good chemistry. Again, it's that whole banter thing that they're both so great at. I also love that this movie was, in a lot of ways, almost more about the female friendships than it was about the relationship. And I feel like we need more of those. Life is not just about romance, it is also about friendship.
Mhm.
so beautifully said? And it is absolutely true. Great job, you guys. This was a blast. A lot of vetoes, no overrides thrown. This is a great list. Let's hear what everybody had on their personal top 10s. So, Rena, you and I have this little side hustle going on as the hosts. What was your top 10 list starting with 10 to 1? If a movie didn't get played and you want to talk about it that's on your list, go for it.
Sure. I mean, my list is very different, I think, from a lot of people's list. I was saying to Lynn, I didn't see all your list. I kept that kind of secret. She asked me if I wanted to, and I was like, no, I'll wait. I had a Christmas carousel because, like Neil, like there is something about him, but I hated the costumes. You're right. Amy, you're so right. The costumes were so horrible. So that was my number 10. My number 9 was A Ring by Spring. I had Christmas in Angel Falls at 8. I actually liked her character. I really did. I didn't love the movie, but I liked her character. I Sculptured Christmas at number 7. I had Joyful Mrs. Miracle, and Y'all know me. I love Christmas movies. I really do. For the little Jewish girl who's, doesn't celebrate Christmas at all. I really liked it. And I liked her little moments where she kind of blew it, like she was giving it away and would take it back and cover it really, nicely. And in some places not so great. But I just thought that was charming and funny. In number five, A Christmas Cookie Catastrophe, because, Victor, I'm not the biggest Paul Campbell fan, but I did have Dating the Delaney's in four. I had Last Bridesmaid, which I watched a lot. I just like that movie. In three, Field Day is one of my favorite movies. I will watch it every time it's on, entirely for her journey, but also the friendship. And I think those three friends are fantastic. And I have Check Into Christmas because I really like it. It's just a sweet movie. And I watched it like I think twice last week because I just really like it. So that's my list.
Yeah, what was your score?
Eight.
8. Okay. So here's mine. But number 10, I have Christmas Cookie Catastrophe. At 9, A Gift of Miracles. At 8, Dating the Delaney's. At 7, Check Into Christmas. At 6, A Christmas Carousel. At 5, The Last Bridesmaid. At 4, Field Day. At 3, Stop the Wedding. I love you, Amy. At 2, The More Love Grows. And at number 1, this should be no surprise to anyone, A Ring by Spring. Of course, it's chaotic, it's bonkers, it's got this
Aw.
magical, it's just one little notch away from being a fake relationship. So I got 8 too. I got 8 too, Rena. So we tied. We are side by side. So that is great. Okay, let's hear from the players. Let's do the veto order. So Jenna, starting with you, what was your top 10? And if there was a movie that we didn't talk about, feel free to mention it.
I got my whole list.
Go ahead, tell everybody your list.
10, A Rose for Christmas. 9, A Christmas Carousel. 8, A Gift of Miracles. 7, Ice Sculpture Christmas. 6, Stop the Wedding. 5, A Christmas Cookie Catastrophe. 4, Dating Delaney's. 3, The Last Bridesmaid. 2, Field Day, and 1, Check Into Christmas. I kind of matched you for the most part towards the end, yeah.
So did you get 10 points or did you get any in the right
11.
spots? You got 11. Okay, great. So just so that everybody knows, only Jenna had A Christmas Carousel and A Rose for Christmas on the list. Happy and Amy didn't, and she managed to get those movies on. So way to play, Jenna. Good job. Amy, what was your top 10 list starting with number 10?
Right. Well, first of all, I'm glad everyone else liked Field Day and I put it number 1. I'm sorry if I hurt anyone's feelings. I just was like, I don't feel it. Okay. Anyways, number 10, Ice Sculpture Christmas. Number 9, Field Day. Number 8, The Last Bridesmaid. Number 7, A Gift of Miracles. Number 6, A Ring by Spring. Number 5, Check Into Christmas. Number 4, Stop the Wedding. Number 3, A Christmas Cookie Catastrophe. Number 2, Dating the Delaney's. Number 1, The More Love Grows.
What was your score?
12.
Ooh.
I got 4 things in the right position.
Wow. Okay. So far you're winning. Happy. What was your top 10 list?
Number 10 was Ice Sculpture Christmas. 9, The More Love Grows. 8, A Ring by Spring. 7, A Gift of Miracles. 6, The Last Bridesmaid. 5, Field Day. 4, Stop the Wedding. 3, Dating the Delaney's. 2, Check Into Christmas. And 1, Joyful Mrs. Miracle.
What do you like about Joyful Mrs. Miracle? I know Rena got to say something, but it was on your list too.
Such a delightful movie. I will say, as soon as I sent you my list, I had lister's regret. I think I would have swapped Check Into Christmas for Mrs. Miracle. I did not actually watch both of those again until after I sent you my list, and then I was like, oh man. But the thing I love about Joyful Mrs. Miracle is all of the Mary Poppins play off. Like, it's just so cute. And everybody looks at her, but nobody really questions it. And I just thought that was hysterical.
That's another Nina Weinman script as well. Peter Benson
Mm.
directed it, and he's also has a cameo in it. And this is a movie where Rachel is the lead, does not have a love interest in the storyline, and that's what makes it different as well. So yeah, great. Let's talk for just a quick sec about The More Love Grows, because that's the only other movie that was on a couple of people's lists, but we didn't really talk about, except Amy, you got to talk about it, right? Jenna, you were like, no, I hate that. So Happy, do you have any thoughts on The More Love Grows?
Remind me of the plot. I watched all 14 of these movies in the past 2 weeks.
Warren Christie is her love interest in this. So
Oh,
her
right, the
husband,
one with the dogs.
yeah, her husband asked for a separation. She's blindsided. So with the help of a friendly vet named Ben, that's Warren Christie, and a rambunctious stray dog, she rediscovers her strength and begins to rebuild her life. Andrea Brooks is in this. Linda Boyd plays Cindy, who becomes her new best friend and is just steals like every scene that
Mhm.
she's in and gives great advice. And this was ranked number 7 in the best non-holiday movies drafts of 2023 by Tracy Langley and Kate. So yeah, it's kind of like adults talking like adults for some of the time.
Yeah, and honestly, it was Linda Boyd's role that put this on my list at all. I thought she was super funny, but also like just really empathetic. She was the kind of friend that Rachel Boston's character needed for this plot. It was great. It was an unexpected twist to something that was otherwise a little bit more just predictable.
Happy, what was your score?
No, it's all good. Mine was 10. I lost.
It's 10. All right. It was a wonderful list. There's so much gameplay involved. Amy, you won, which means that you're eligible to compete in the 2025
That's
HMD Championship. And hopefully I can lure you back again.
I love the process. I love the process of watching the movies, and I have like the list printed out and my kids get into it and it's like on the fridge, and it's fun. Like the whole thing is just really fun. So thank you for inviting me, and I love like looking forward to it and thinking about stuff. It's just it's cool. So thank
I'm
you.
so glad. I'll connect with you offline about what you might be interested in, but I do want to give you a shout out because it was strictly because of your reactions and how you played in the second round of the 2023 HMD Championship, where you were like, oh, God, I don't know the name of the movie, but it was the one where he does this or she does that, that I completely changed up the second round and the format of it for the 2024. So you
All
get
right.
soul shout out credits to you. Okay, you
Yeah.
guys, just really wonderful. Here we go. This is the singular definitive list of the 10 best Hallmark movies starring Rachel Boston as drafted by Amy, Happy, and Jenna. Here we go at 10. Ice Sculpture Christmas at 9, A Rose Christmas at 8, The Last Bridesmaid at 7, A Gift of Miracles at 6, Stop the Wedding at 5, Check Into Christmas at 4, A Christmas Cookie Catastrophe at 3, Dating the Delaneys at 2, A Christmas Carousel, and at number 1, finally, the third attempt, Field Day. Great job, everybody. Let's all say bye. Bye.
Bye.
Oh my God, justice for everything. Bye. Hallmark Movie Drafts is a monthly production. Stephanie Prichelle creates the movie synopses using descriptions from IMDb or Hallmark.com as a base. Kate Baca vets the list of eligible movies and manages our Letterboxd account called Hallmark Drafts, where you'll find the list of eligible movies for each show, as well as the final top 10 list and the panelists who drafted them. Erin Beth Cermak creates a trivia round questions, and along with Stephanie and Kate, provides additional creative, research, and hosting support. I'm Lynn Austin. I'm the showrunner, producer, and host. I staff the panels, create the show topics, manage the production schedule and the HMD socials, and edit and publish the podcast. Intro and outro music is provided courtesy of Amato Zapana. Thank you to the Deck the Hallmark double-deckers who share their passionate opinions on these Hallmark movies that we love, or maybe not love, so much.